breakfast, buddy? What were you saying, babe?
I don't want to potty in the basement.
Jeez! I can't even tell what you're saying. All right, anyway, James is gonna go to the basement and work on puttying. There he is. Down here working. So far this morning, he got all of those, what do you call those metal things? Corner beads?
Corner beads.
Oh, I remembered. Anyway, he got all those corner beads in, and now he's just puttying. Are you doing your favorite activity? You look miserable.
I hate this stuff. I don't know how people do it for a living.
Well,
There's got to be better products out there.
yeah, you would think by now in 2023 that you wouldn't have to do this.
Maybe there'd be something else, but
Yeah. Oh well. Actually, you're getting pretty good at it, honestly. I know you think you suck at it, but it looks great. Keep it up, babe.
this morning I had plans on putting drywall mud on the corners, which won't take me too long. We don't have the kids today, so while they're not here, before I start drywalling anymore, I'm gonna put some self-leveling on this floor. There's a few dips that I don't want there before we do the our flooring, and I don't know if you can tell, it's kind of bad over in here, and then there's actually a dip here that I want to take care of. You can have a little bit of imperfection with that type of flooring and you won't notice it much, but these imperfections up here, I will notice it, and I don't want to deal with that. So I'm gonna self-level that, which I've never done before. It doesn't look hard. I bought some primer, and that we have to paint the floor so it helps adhere to the floor and keeps it from cracking. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with that, let it set up. While it's setting up, do the drywall. After the drywall's done, I'll mix my self-leveler up and we'll put that on the floor and see how it works. Well, I forgot to film that, but anyways, I put the primer down on these low line areas. And I got a little bit of an issue here, but I don't think it's gonna cause a problem with the floor. I'm just gonna level out what I feel like is gonna have an issue. So all this was pretty bad. So I may not have to level into there, that ain't too bad, but I put too much primer down, so I just was spreading it around in that opening. This is the worst spot. You can kind of see it in the reflection there. Right here is pretty bad. So I'm gonna let that set up. While that's setting up, I'm gonna start working on these corners. I think that's the only thing I'm gonna do today in here. I got my second coat onto this. I'll go to a 14-inch trial after today, probably tomorrow, but I want to get my corners done and then let that set up. So okay, we're gonna give this a try. You can see, it's almost easier to see after we primed it and it's dried. But you can see some waves in the concrete. And that's what we're gonna try to fix. I'm gonna start on this end and work my way this way. I got everything ready. I got my water, got my bucket. I got that. I got 2 bags. Hopefully we don't have to use it all, but we're gonna see how we do here. that wasn't too bad. It wasn't self-leveling as well as I thought, but this is the first time I've ever done it. I definitely think it filled in some holes. You can kind of see in the glare that it's not near as bad as it was. So I think the only other thing that I'm worried about are the very edges. There's a little bit of a lip, so I think as it starts setting up, I'm gonna try to smooth it out, you know, flat up against the concrete, but that would be easier to work with than what I had before, which wasn't very good. So kind of messy, pain in the butt. Not even sure if this is exactly how you're supposed to do it, but I think this will work better for the floor when we put it down. And it's just vinyl plank. I mean, you know, it's pretty resistant against this kind of stuff anyway. So, but once this dries, I'll show you what it looks like, and we'll see how level we actually got everything when we put the floor down. So
James has got a lot done in the basement on the drywall, and I haven't recorded any of it, so this is just a real quick update video. As you can tell, the drywall is ready for the final sanding, and then we're actually going to prime tonight if we have time, and we'll paint tomorrow. He has worked so hard on this. As I already mentioned before, James absolutely hates doing drywall, but honestly, between the old house and this house, all the drywall that he's done, he's gotten really good at it. And it didn't take him near as long to do this as it did to do the movie theater area. So anyway, it's looking great. We're gonna finish it out and get the last sanding done so we can start painting. Oh my gosh, I forgot how miserable it was to sand drywall. If I sound like a crybaby, it's because I'm being a crybaby. It is not fun. It is so hard. I'll tell you what, I really appreciate drywall contractors that can do a professional job, because this is miserable. Oh, babe.
oh, it gives you arms. My arms are swollen.
Yeah, you don't need to hit the gym. You just need to do drywall.
Woo!
You look like you have gray hair. Are you sweating?
I'm very sweaty.
God. And it's done. It actually didn't take as long as I thought it would. It took about an hour for us of sanding, which I think I worked my arm muscles more in the last hour than I have in the last decade. So now comes the nasty part where we just clean up all the dust so we can get ready to prime it. We got it all cleaned up. We got the walls wiped off, and we are ready to start painting. Well, priming, I should say. And I did want to show off the drywall job back here because it turned out perfect. Back in there. And then of course he also did back here. Okay, let's start priming. And it's done. I will admit this primer is not the same as the primer we usually use. I used Kills for the whole house upstairs and down here, but this one, it's almost like translucent. It's not really white. See how you can see it's not, let me turn the light. It isn't, I don't know, it's just not near as bright as it normally is, so. Anyway, whatever. It's done, we're gonna paint next.